So hello and welcome to my channel. Today's video will be sort of lighthearted, I guess. So like 3 days ago, Onision tweeted out this. Something about Shane that kind of sucks to talk about, but it reflects on all social media. And then he posts his link to his website. And the thing is that, Onision has not been really active on his channels recently, but he is very active on his website. So today we're gonna take a look at this blog post in which he talks about Shane Dawson's makeup. If you don't know this because you were born yesterday, Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star released new makeup together, and I guess they released a palette. I am not really sure what they actually released because I don't follow them that much. I do know that they released makeup together, and this blog post is about that. Okay, so let's start reading it. Today I saw something on Twitter that kinda upset me, and I was upset in a way I'm not used to. Oh boy, we're off to a great start. The implicit assumption is that, he's always upset. And, and that makes his fans feel bad for him. And his fans probably wants to make him feel better, right? And you might think that, no, that's a bit too much. But I've talked about this in the past, of how he cultivates this fan base which always wants to make him feel better when it's not his fans' job to make him feel better. I've talked about this in the video titled How Onision Treats His Fans. You should check it out. Anyways, moving on. I would post a screenshot, and this is in bold, so you know that it's extra important. But I don't want to out anyone or make anyone feel bad, because I personally don't have any beef with anyone really at this point. Good old Onision, bragging about doing a nice thing when it literally doesn't matter. How about doing a nice thing I don't know, not filming your girlfriend having a mental breakdown? Just a thought. He does this very often actually, he does something that you can kind of perceive as good. I don't think my voice can get any higher. And then he brags about it. Anyways, moving on. What I mean when I say beef is I simply do not have any incentive or motivation to go after anyone as if I'm better than them. A good example of this is someone saying they would never go to a place to, quote unquote, take care of a baby they would conservatively their whole life, till one day they get pregnant and their world is suddenly upside down before they can even give birth. So they find themselves looking to, quote unquote, take care of their own pregnancy so they can live a life where they are not pushing some child into a life that lacks love or otherwise is not healthy. In other words, you start out judging women for claiming rights to their own bodies, then you find yourself in their shoes, and you're doing the same thing. He talks about this issue very often, and I understand, it's an important issue, but why talk about something when it's not called for? This is about Shane Dawson's makeup, right? Why bring up women's rights and abortion in this situation? It just doesn't make sense. And I don't get it. Somebody tell me why. This is also in bold and in italics, so you know that it's extra important. So we all are capable of, over time, kind of understanding where people we disagree with are coming from when given enough life experience. Some time ago, something kind of funny happened. Funny as in awkward and humbling. I went after Shane for making jokes that sounded serious to me and numerous other people. It was trending on Twitter when he was cancelled. We are talking about tens of thousands of people tweeting the same thing. I joined the bandwagon and later on became somewhat of a poster boy for the whole movement. People even suggested I invented it when in fact it was first blamed on Paul Brothers. Point is, I did not jump off the bandwagon until eventually I was one of the only people left, because I couldn't possibly imagine how anyone could say what Shane has said. Like, the thing about that is that, everyone sort of understood later on that, hey, that was a different time and he has changed with the platform. At that time, the platform was more for edgy humor, and now he has changed. While you, on the other hand, made a fucking documentary about loosely connected shit that Repsion ripped apart in his video. That's the difference here. Everyone else sort of like tweeted some random shit because it was trending, but you, on the other hand, made a fucking documentary about it. That's the difference. Where was I? Okay. Till someone showed me an old tweet of mine where I made a joke about Skyping someone while using the toilet. Yeah, suddenly I was like, oh well, that's different. Obviously I was being sarcastic, that scenario is ridiculous. Well, maybe Shane saw his comments the same way, or maybe Shane is literally the next coming of the Dark Lord Lucifer. Joking? Or am I? He has great humor. I wish I had his humor. Well, yeah, I guess I'm glad that he finally understood the concept of how time works at the age of what, like 40? Good job, Onision. You finally understood the concept of time. Anyways, moving on. So to discuss what I saw on Twitter, Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson came out with a new makeup set. Me, personally, I don't really get makeup. I don't care. It's, just foundation for me and that's all. Okay, maybe I darken my brows a bit. Anyways, the point is, I couldn't possibly understand why people are so obsessed with these silly little colorful plastic and powder products. So you don't care. You know what? Me too. I also don't care about Shane Dawson's makeup. Like, I don't wear makeup. I don't care about Jeffree Star and his opulent, bougie lifestyle. And as someone who has only watched Shane's docuseries, I didn't watch his earlier videos, I wasn't really into Shane. He seems very out of touch in his latest videos, and I just simply don't care. But guess what? I didn't watch those videos or made a blog about it or talked about it on my YouTube channel because I simply don't care. If you don't care, then why are you talking about something that you don't care about? His existence in this discourse about Shane's makeup is defined by him not caring about it. You could have done literally anything else with your time, dude. Why talk about something that you don't care about, But I'm also completely ignorant, which is true. He is completely ignorant. So unlike so many times before, I've kept my mouth shut. I've tried to be an adult for once and watch the world turn without my interruption. But, well, about what I saw. So someone I consider an online friend tweeted something about how good Shane's new makeup set looked. They posted 2 pictures of Shane pretending to be a member of a different skin color. I'll paraphrase. Someone took an old non-PC pics of Shane and said that was his current makeup set in action. Personally, I know this person is not pro Shane. They have been going off about Shane for over a year, which is so much worse than going off about him for a decade. Moving on. They have something up their rear over the guy, and I get that. In a number of ways, it's not just about Shane, but people in general. It sucks to see people who you maybe attempted to be like at one point succeed beyond your imagination. Let's be honest, Shane is a mega hit, incredibly successful. When I saw these photos of Shane I was already aware of, playing characters intended to make people laugh and nothing else, my thought was, Yeah, we all know that happened, but that was like years ago, and my emotions were like, holy heck, low blow, dude. Let me talk about my personal experience with Shane. Oh, there you go. There you go. The onion always reveals its true colors, my friends. I went to lunch/dinner with him a few times. One time we tried this Italian restaurant, then bailed because the menu was no good. We went to a Mexican place instead. Another time I went to his favorite restaurant with him, and he publicly stated he did not like how I did not look at waiters in the face when I talked to them. He only publicly said this, as I recall, because I had publicly stated that he stood me up multiple times. In other words, I was being childish and handling my situation like an attention seeker rather than an adult. But that's not the story is about. Then why did you told it? Like, what? I additionally spent a short time at Shane's house making a video with Black Box TV and another time making a song with Shane himself. Now, with that being said, Shane at no point showed any interest in any of the things his jokes covered. Not the face makeup, not the other jokes, literally no indication of anything bad in his personality regarding these specific subjects. So, this whole time, I have been going off, not having seen this guy in forever, and solely on the fact that I do not understand what his jokes sound like / how he jokes, and I hadn't reflected on the reality that he never showed any real world signs to me that anything was bad about his personality at all, other than simply not showing up when he said he would, which is a totally separate and irrelevant private issue. Well, I'm glad you finally understood the concept of not making assumptions about people you don't really know about at a young age of 40. Good job, buddy. So, if you haven't noticed this already, this blog post isn't about Shane's makeup. So the question is, what exactly is it about, you know? And you already know what it's about, don't you? It's about Onion telling you how Shane and Onion used to be friends and now he cannot let it go and he just cannot let it go. He cannot let go of the fact that Shane is now friends with garlic instead of onion. He cannot let it go. He cannot let it go. He keeps talking about it. Okay, that's obvious. But there's also another thing that's going on. I have read this multiple times now, so I'll just cut to the chase. What he's doing in this blog post is he's comparing his situation of getting cancelled to Shane's situation. When you cannot compare them, there is no comparison. It's about how Shane and Onision's situation are like so similar to each other when they are not. They are definitely not. Of course, he doesn't explicitly says it, you know, but right here he's talking about Shane. Later on, he talks about himself. And, you know, it sort of implies that, hey, both of their situations are similar. He gives multiple examples of cancel culture related to Shane and him getting cancelled. And in the last paragraphs, he says that, you know, I have made a lot of mistakes pointing fingers and acting holier than thou. But I regret those things, and I'm sorry for those things. And I also don't want to be reminded of the things I've apologized for many years down the line. He says it, just like Shane is tired of all of this old shit, resurfacing, he is also tired of all this stuff resurfacing that he's already quote-unquote apologized for. Also, Onision, what exactly is he sorry about, you know? Is he sorry for the fact that he recorded his girlfriend having a mental breakdown due to the hyperventilation and the stress that he caused her? Is he sorry for emotionally manipulating a 16-year-old? You know, that's what I mean when he says that he hasn't changed. You know, thing about Shane is that, you know, however horrible those jokes might have been, he has grown and changed. He doesn't talk about Onision anymore. I don't like Shane, but it's clear that he has definitely grown and changed. But with Onision, nope, he is still the same. Essentially, the narrative of cancel culture is, look, at that time I was an idiot and now I have changed, right? Like, look here. In the example that Onision gives, you know, Onision realized that what he did when he publicized that Shane stood him up was wrong, and now he has changed. But the thing is that he might have changed in that particular case, but not in the bigger picture. That's an implicit assumption, and it's dead wrong. These abusive behavior patterns have constantly remained over a period of more than a decade. It doesn't matter whether Onision has changed his position on Shane's drama and controversy regarding those dumb jokes or whatever. It doesn't matter when the big behavior patterns of manipulation remain. Also, there is no evidence that Shane is a horrible monster, and there is a lot of evidence for Onision. So, yeah, I'm not gonna go through the last 2 paragraphs of it, but because blah, it's the same thing. You can read it. I'll leave the link in the description. Yeah. So I'm recording this for the 3rd time now, and yeah, the first time I fucked everything up because of the mic, and you might think, how could you fuck up anything when your mic sounds like this? I know, right? How could I pick it up more? But I somehow managed to do that, and I am now recording this for the 3rd time. So that's great. Like this video if you liked it. Comment your thoughts down below. I'd love to hear them. Subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.